Now, Ms. Pamela Hendrickson is Chief Operating Officer of the Riverside Company, a private equity firm with headquarters in Cleveland and New York, which focuses on investments in small and middle market companies. Ms. Hendrickson.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry. Chairman Altmaier, Ranking Member Fallon, thank you very much for having me this morning. As you said, I'm Pam Hendrickson, Chief Operating Officer of the Riverside Company. We're a private equity firm that has spent the last 21 years investing in small companies around the world. Recent newspaper headlines might have some people believing that the private equity industry is made up of former investment bankers who use black box financing to acquire companies in big cities and then vaporize the assets and the employees. That's not what we do. We've invested $1.8 billion in 211 companies. We work with them for about 5 years, and when we sell them, typically their earnings have risen by 100%. Today I want to talk for a few minutes about how we do that. Unlike venture, which helps companies in the startup phase of their life cycle, we help companies that are in a bit of a later stage. We have 3 mechanisms by which we create value. First, we increase the earnings of the companies we buy. Second, we earn a bigger multiple upon sale because we've built a much stronger company. And third, on occasion, we restructure the balance sheet. I'm happy to tell you only 8% of our gains have come from restructuring the balance sheet. For us, it's all about growth. About 60% of the companies we buy are family-owned businesses in small communities like Oneida, New York, or Paris, Kentucky. The founders and owners typically have most of their net worth tied up in these companies, and when they decide to sell their business, it's generally because they're seeking liquidity for retirement or to secure the financial future of their families. For example, we purchased CPI, a training company based in Brookfield, Wisconsin. The company was for sale because the owner had been diagnosed with a terminal disease and wanted to ensure that his employees would be safe and his business would be ongoing. We quickly evaluated this opportunity and were able to close this transaction in 30 days. Today, through the addition of new programs, some international growth, and some modest price increases, CPI has increased its sales by 25%, and the employees are prospering. On other occasions, we work with young management teams that need both capital and additional expertise to grow, one in Washington, Pennsylvania, in fact. And sometimes we actually create a small business from what we affectionately call a corporate orphan, a non-core division of a large company that has suffered due to lack of capital and attention. Such was the case with Just Right Manufacturing in Mattoon, Illinois. Just Right was a division of Federal Signal. It manufactures safety products that help prevent catastrophic industrial accidents, and it really needed attention. We bought it, founded a top management team, and realigned its pricing strategy. Since our acquisition, the company's grown earnings 40% and kept a lot of jobs in Mattoon. We help our companies in many ways other than simply providing capital. First, we give them access to our strong lender network. In 21 years, our senior lenders have lost money only once, so they like working with us. Our debt ratios are low, 2.9 times operating earnings versus the industry average of 4.5 times. Second, we pool the purchasing power of our 50 U.S. companies, so they get the benefit of being part of something bigger. For example, on a pooled basis, our companies spend $25 million with FedEx, so each of them gets treated like Hewlett-Packard. Third, we've done a tremendous amount of work helping our companies manage their healthcare benefit costs. Through our programs, we've held per employee per year costs nearly flat since 2006 at $8,000. The industry average is 36% increase. Recently, we actually got a nice compliment from the United Steelworkers, who were impressed that we were able to continue offering such great benefits. We also improve financial controls and bring in strong outside directors. As the PE industry continues to contribute increasing percentages of GDP, it is understandably gaining the attention of the regulatory bodies just across the while, I think. One area of particular concern to us are the new FASB 157 or mark-to-market regulations. While we fully support marking to market and have always done so, the new regulations require that we use outside resources and a more public company approach. Last year, we did a transaction every 8 days, so we are constantly in the market, and we really know how to value companies. Unfortunately, we're now being forced to value companies during our hold period in a way that is different from how we value them ourselves when we buy and sell them. In addition, these regulations are costing our investors an additional $500,000 per year due to the additional time required from our auditors and outside consultants. Getting the U.S. economy out of the doldrums will undoubtedly be driven by the growth of small business. But we need debt. And despite our great lending relationships, the debt markets remain tight. We've wondered whether there might be an opportunity for some form of public-private partnership through which the SBA could provide some debt at the fund level. We have a lot of skin in this game, and the future of our firm is based purely on our track record. Just as companies compete for capital, so we compete for investor capital. It's a very democratic process, not based on status or where we went to school, but based purely on our performance. So we have to grow our companies. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hendrickson.